Last video in this ZEN series. Not sure what number this will be, but it'll end. I'll start it probably December 1st, so it'll end whatever, week before Christmas, whatever. Hey, this was the easiest I did so far. I even succeeded this, maybe because it's warmer today. This was hard to connect last time. So it's just directly on here. And here, I got to tighten the straps. And one of the ways I tighten it is to keep it close. This really doesn't lift. It's never lifted off this, and this is something I did myself in Castlegar. So yeah, it's sad. It's been off for a few days and I still didn't write it. People think I'm lazy or I'm having fun or I refuse to work, whatever it is, while I'm busy advocating for your own kids looking for work in my own specialties which they need. I was gonna throw two of the older pea containers I've been using in the garbage because I'm just tired. I'm tired of going to the river to rinse them and reuse them. Plus there's a risk, right, when they get old they could start cracking and leaking pee, and now I'm smelling poop everywhere even though I haven't pooped and there's no poop inside. I'm smelling it just being here because it's been staying everywhere, the smell, so it's got to air out more. So I'm gonna go for a drive. So I was starting to walk and then I brought them back. I still feel like I have to recycle them because when I asked about recycling when I first got here, it was he said they burn recycling, and I don't know if he assumed I was only talking about cardboard, but still, you know, even if I was, like, if I have a lot of recycling, shouldn't it get recycled if it's cardboard or paper? So yeah, I mean, a lot of people would like indigenous people to be in charge of green stuff, but do the research because it's really hidden about how many are bought by fossil fuel companies and who, you know, whether they really recycle or not at their campground, because I had to be the one at the other place to get the recycling down there, and I promised I would sort out all my recycling, including that of others, when I left, and I did. Always cleaner than when I left it. So I'll probably rinse them at some point and maybe recycle those ones. So yeah, so I mean, the last place I volunteered at a First Nation school, they were quite happy I come in to volunteer, and when they see how much progress I'm making, they're feeling intimidated. You know, I actually I went back, and the girl I was focusing on, because the girl they wanted to assign me to with disabilities wasn't there the first day, and I ended up working with another one in the classroom there, and the teacher from an African country was so happy. And she knows that the students are disrespecting her, and I said, do you know they're doing that? And you kind of ignore it? Because there's, you know, there'd be too many times you'd be saying that's not okay, like I did in front of the class twice, to say, when I'm asking you guys that the girl I was working with did great today, to applaud her as a class, and maybe she didn't notice, but I notice the lack of effort, you know, that's not okay. And then I asked them to applaud, and they still, so where are they learning, these kids, to not respect their elders who are trying to introduce culture repairing and healing practices and the proper life skills so that they can all benefit from it? Yeah, I don't know. So again, so there was one time I went there, and the Spirit North was having that was a day I was volunteering directly with the school, because Spirit North paid me 2 out of 3 days. The third day I volunteered it because they said, we don't have your criminal record check yet, and we didn't check your references, whatever. And but the first day was a bicycle outside, so when I was assigned to this girl in the class, so I grabbed one of their bicycles that they had, and my skills were awesome, right? Even on the grass, I don't have to touch the ground if I want to stop for a super long time with the bicycle. But I could have easily won when the circle thing, but I didn't want to win. It's not about my ego. It's about whoever was last. And then they said, oh no, I'm about to lose balance, and I jumped off. So somebody else, you know, was the last. They probably knew I was skilled, the kid, but it's not about me. Like, and it's challenging them at way too high levels to. And again, some of the ones that failed is they were behind me and they were trying to sneak in, and they didn't realize I could stop, and then they couldn't. But these are skill sets I'd like to pass on, practice, right? So yeah, so that school benefited 3.5 days of me volunteering. And at the beginning, when they wanted me to fill out the forms, which I did, turns out they probably never included the RCMP one with the fingerprints from the last time. which caused a lot of delays, but they also were sent the link to pay and they never did. So I paid for my criminal record check there and volunteered all that time. So, and it's not like they don't have references, and it's not like they don't see me having all the success with their kids. It's just, oh, you gotta realize you're a white man. Yeah, no, it's not about that. It's about every child matters, and I'm role modeling it more than you. So that's not okay. And it's the same everywhere. I'm not attacking any specific culture. This is a pattern of a species that's dying and that wants to take their kids with them at minimal effort. It's everywhere around the world, every culture. So yeah, so I noticed that, when the engine was running, this one was coming up too. But I also noticed this one was having a harder time. Because it took me a while to get all this done, and most of it I had to do myself, and it takes a long time because really we're a dysfunctional proto-society everywhere in Canada. It might have eventually had damage from not being consistently charged with the alternator. But they're both charging really well, and I decided not to install the third one because I looked at the cable in the back, and it's hard to tell which ones they are really. I just want to be sure they don't go into the converter that was related to the solar panel, but they're directly, plus they're too corroded. So I'd have to cut the end. I don't have time for this. I don't really need that right now. So right now everything is going well, and I'm gonna go for a drive just to charge it up a bit more, and I'll be able to turn on my heater for the first time in a super long time. Isn't it great that I can solve my own problems, and that I want to teach these polymath human thinking tools to others, and that as a volunteer they won't let me, even when I cover my own expenses everywhere around the world.